the Dark Ritual to turn 1 Timna, and then from there you can also just kind of see if it can get you somewhere.
So from there we'll have Timna in play and
maybe
only Demonic Tutor in hand.
Maybe you don't keep... Maybe you pitch the tutor and you actually keep the Worldly Tutor, because then you can Worldly Tutor for another creature, like another Mana Dork if you don't draw another land or something. And then that way you have another creature that will be able to draw with Tibna. And then that's your plan, is that you just try to do that.
You don't have a way to cast the Worldly Tutor if you use the Lotus Petal on the
your
Dark Ritual?
Gemstone Caverns had pitched
the
Gemstone.
Okay.
You had to pitch something so that Gemstone could make you your white mana for Timna, and now you can use it for your Worldly Tutor here.
Okay, so we're keeping Lotus Petal, Gemstone Caverns, Dark Ritual, Worldly Tutor, and Ranger Captain of Eos, and then we're pitching Ranger Captain to the Gemstone.
Yeah.
Right? Because we want the Worldly Tutor and Culling Ritual still in our deck.
Or you could even keep the Demonic Tutor, and then while everyone's still mulliganing, then you can decide, do I pitch the Demonic Tutor because I think I don't need... I'm not going to have the mana for this, or do I pitch the Worldly Tutor because I think I'm going to draw a land or something else that's going to make me more mana?
Yeah, this hand is very, very difficult to navigate. It offers a couple different play lines, but both of them are very equally dangerous. And it's not a hand that I would be super happy, but this is not a deck I really want to go to 4 with.
But I will say this is probably the most interesting hand we've ever talked about on the channel. I will say that.
I think this is a good hand. I think this is either way, turn 1 Timna, turn 2 Tutor. I'm happy with that, even if I have nothing else in my hand at the end of that.
Yeah.
Timna on board on turn 1, and then any other spell into my hand by turn 2, depending on what goes on.
There's a lot worse Mold-5s you could have, actually.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Even if it's just like Timna into Worldly Tutor to like Drannith Magistrate or something like that, if you're in the right turn order or something, I think this hand is good. On a 5, this is great.
Yeah, turn 1 Timna is usually pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Yeah, do you want to do another hand? Fresh 7, new
Let's
game.
Should we figure out where we are in turn order? This time, let's play first.
And also, what's the pod looking like?
Yeah,
Good
that's
question.
very important.
All right, let's each pick a deck. First of all, I'm going to say Gitrog Monster.
Shit, I was going to say Gitrog Monster.
Were you really?
I'm going to say Yargle and Wiltani. No. I'm going to say Blue Farm. There'll probably be a Blue Farm player there.
Yeah,
Blue Farm's
right.
going 3rd.
And then what's the 4th deck?
Gitrog's going 2nd.
Let's say 5 colors to stay.
5 colors,
5 colors to say.
And we're
nice.
going first. Okay. What's our first hand here?
All right, so our first hand is Lotus Petal, Command Tower, the One Ring.
I'm listening.
Esper Sentinel. Keep talking.
Keep talking.
Yeah, Diabolic Tutor, Dauthi Voidwalker, and Opposition Agent.
On the play, Command Tower, Esper Sentinel. I don't know about you.
And Lotus Petal too.
Yeah, this is just a really good hand.
Are we doing jazz claps, snaps, and stuff? Yeah.
What's your thought process when you see this hand?
Thought process is like if we're on the play, this is turn 1 Esper. Oh, what's the draw to?
Oh, we're drawing Dockside.
Okay. Yeah, so it's Command Tower, Lotus Petal, use the Command Tower for Esper Sentinel. That's pretty much the turn 1 play. Turn 2 play, depending on how they want to do things, and depending on what we draw, we could go for an early Dockside to go into to set up for an Opposition Agent play, or we could just set up for Timna.
Yeah, or
the One Ring.
Or we can Lando turn 2 One Ring, depending on how many the Dockside makes.
Yeah, this is pretty, even though we don't have the second land, this is still pretty close to a perfect hand. We even have the option for Diabolic Intent, so by turn 2, if Dockside makes 100 mana, we can cast Dockside and Diabolic Intent for a win condition.
And then just ad nauseum right there, yeah.
We have kind of all the choices in the world, but in the dark, I'm definitely going Command Tower, Lotus Petal. I think I want to get the Lotus Petal out and right now and play the Esper Sentinel, just because their Dockside would have to come on this first turn cycle for it to make like worth of the Lotus Petal being on my side of the board, and I think I'm going to crack Lotus Petal on my second turn.
I'm worried about you being able to like play the One Ring on turn 2 in this pod, because people are going to probably try to pay for Esper Sentinel if they have Mana Crypt on this turn 1 cycle here, and you're playing against the Gitrog monster, so there's a chance they might just be going like Mana Dork on turn 1, but still just even like waiting on those treasures a little bit, putting them into like a Dauthi Voidwalker too. You know, you have all these other advantage pieces in this hand to really help the game go long if it needs to.
Yeah,
I agree 100%.
Wow, that was too easy. Do you want to do another one?
Yeah, let's do another.
Cool. All right.
Let's do a different pod.
Different pod. All right. Demon, you pick a deck first this time.
Deck will be... Ooh, let me think about this one. Maybe something a little bit off the wall, but not too far off the wall. Dahada.
Dahada, okay.
Cool. Yep.
Your turn.
Kinnan, obviously.
Oh, Kinnan,
If I'm playing
okay.
a CDH game, there's a good chance there's a Kinnan at the table.
Dargo Thrasios is the final deck.
And which turn are we going? We're going in third?
We're third this time.
Yeah, we're third.
Yeah, we're third.
We're behind Diada, Kinnan, us, and then Dargo Thrasios.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
So this hand is Wooded Foothills, Dranith Magistrate, Vampiric Tutor, Dothy Voidwalker, Beseech the Mirror, Ad Nauseam, and Rite of Flame.
I think this hand is a little bit too slow to keep a ad nause.
I think it has like all of the wrong pieces that I need.
We're close. Honestly, if there's another land, this hand is turn 2 Naz. We could Vampiric Tutor for Dark Ritual, but we don't have that second land. So we'd have to draw a land in this one turn, and you played 26 lands. I think it's not very likely that we're going to hit a land drop right now. So I would say we got to ship.
Yeah, no, I probably would not keep this hand.
Yeah, can't do it. But it's closer than it seems, I think. If just one of those spells is a land, I think we can turn to Naz, and that's fine, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no go.
Until then.
Second 7.
Second 7 is Blood Crypt, Gaia's Cradle, Dark Ritual, Vampiric Tutor, Veil of Summer, Worldly Tutor, and Ignoble Hierarch.
Let's see. Blood Crypt, Vamp Tutor, Cradle, Ignoble Hierarch, Worldly Tutor. This hand's actually not that bad.
It's not bad, right? What are your first thoughts when you see it? What are you thinking?
The very first turn cycle does look like a Blood Crypt, and then just kind of either hold it for Vamp Tutor going into my turn, or just doing it and hope no one decides to oppo, or rather hoping that the Hada doesn't decide to oppo.
Can I point out what is glaring to me about this hand? There's no green mana.
Right, yeah. So here's my thought, right? Here's my thought. You Vampiric Tutor for Deathrite Shaman, right? You can play Deathrite Shaman in this deck. You Vampiric Tutor for Deathrite Shaman. Turn 2, Blood Crypt for Deathrite Shaman. Guy's Cradle now taps for a green to play Ignoble Hierarch.
Okay.
Boom, you got your green eye.
And now you're going.
And then after that, you have Veil of Summer and Worldly Tutor left over with the Dark Ritual. You got to be able to make something out of that with maybe a turn 3 Timna or something. This hand is not stellar, but with that line, if you're looking to grind, what was their pod again? Gitrog Monster?
No, that was the other pod.
Oh, what was their pod
Hada,
again?
Kinnan, Dargo Thrasios.
Diada, Kinnan, Dargo
I
Thrasios.
probably could look to grind off of the back of the Kinnan player and hope that they can hold the Dahada at bay. And the Dargo Thrasios is not necessarily the fastest deck. It can be explosive, but it does seem to be a little bit more of a control shell most of the time when I see it played.
Well, what do you think about that line? What do you think about Vamp Tutor for Deathrite Shaman to turn on Guy's Cradle for Ignoble Hierarch? Is that something, or should we go to 6?
I do think there is merit to it. I probably wouldn't be in love with it because I don't want to fall too far behind the Kinnan or the Dahada if either of them is not kept in check. So I would probably look to go to a 6.
What if
I feel solid with that too.
What if the Vampiric Tutor was Ragavan instead of Deathrite Shaman? That would also work. Is that any better? Then you get some card advantage along with the potential for more guaranteed mana maybe. Well, Kinnan's going to have
about that a little
blockers.
bit more.
Diada probably won't have blockers. Thrasios Dargo will have blockers. But hopefully you can get in at Diada maybe.
For turn 2 Kinnan? Or Timna? Whatever the
Turn
fuck
2,
your
yeah,
commander
Timna
is.
is your commander. Is that any better, or should we still go to 6? Demon, your call.
I do think it'd probably be better to go to 6 in this case.
All right, let's take a look at a 6. Oh God,
It's not good.
it's not good here, Demon. I'm gonna read this one fast. LED, Swords to Plowshares, Enlightened Tutor, Dranith Magistrate, Ranger Captain of Eos, Culling the Weak, and Ragavan.
No mana sources that can do anything. We're just going to ship it right away.
All right,
That's unfortunate.
here's another 5. We have a...
Wait a minute.
Wow.
What do we got here? Okay.
Whoa, okay.
What do we got here?
We have a Plateau, a Scrubland, City of Brass, Soul Ring, Diabolic Intent, Ad Nauseam, and Endurance.
Immediately, I'm looking to keep this hand. I'm look to pitch the Endurance and then probably the Plateau and look to run on the Soul Ring, City, and Scrubland. Go into turn 2 Timna, and then potentially even turn 3 Ad Naz.
Yep, that's exactly what I would have done. It's kept the exact same way. Scrubland, City of Brass, Soul Ring, Diabolic Intent, Ad Nauseam. You keep that. Turn 1 Soul Ring. Turn 2 Timna. Turn 3 you can either Diabolic Intent for a way to protect your Ad Nauseam or just straight up Ad Nauseam depending on what you draw. And if not doing those things, you have the ability to threaten those things. So yeah, this hand is a great 5. This is an awesome.
Yeah.
It's a strange 7 because it doesn't have a ton going on, but for a 5,
It's a great 5.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's like fantastic.
I might even throw my hat in the ring to say I would just keep all 3 lands.
I was
the
thinking that
Soul Ring
too.
and Ad Naus, and just that way I'm guaranteed to have Ad Nauseam in case Timna doesn't draw me into a card. But also, like, I can sacrifice Timna for Diabolic Intent for a way to be able to Ad Naus as well. So
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I think both of them are really good, but maybe the Diabolic Intent, I think you guys might be right. I think that might actually be better to keep instead.
And especially with the Timna, so on turn 2, after the Timna, on turn 3, you'll draw a card, and the Timna, you'll have only 2 draws there plus 2 more, so you have 4 total draws to find a 3rd land if you put the Plateau to the
But
bottom.
honestly, there's
Plus
so
Diabolic.
many, there's 2 blue decks in this pod that are trying to stop a Dayana, so you might as well ride the back of the fact that you're not going to add Naus till turn 4, turn 5 even maybe, and just like wait for your window, get your mana sources out, get your Timna going a little bit. You'll find other creatures to play and help you grind further too, so.
One of the biggest strengths of this deck is how many people just look at it and say, okay, Blood Pod. I don't really have to worry about this deck.
Yeah, that's probably a good point, and a lot of them in like game 1 probably don't expect Ad Naus either.
And then I just drop a turn 3 Ad Naus with protection and they're like, what the fuck just happened?
So would
Yeah.
you, final verdict, do you put back the Diabolic Intent and keep the 3rd land, or do you put back the Plateau and keep the Diabolic Intent?
The answer to that question really depends on, do I draw another, do I end up drawing another source, or do I just look to cast Tana to see if I can start drawing more off of Timna?
Yeah, that depends. We don't know that information right now. I think we only keep 2 lands. I think we risk it.
I do think we ship the Plateau, because shipping the Plateau, the City of Brass, Scrubland, Soul Ring, if we do turn 2 Timna, we can swing in with Timna, Soul Ring, Scrubland, Diabolic Intent, find Dockside, use the City of Brass with the 1 remaining, and just cast the Dockside and then go for Ad Naus there.
Yeah.
We have 4 draws, and we'll have 24 lands in the deck, and there will be at a 93 or something.
23 lands.
23 lands, yeah.
pod is very artifact heavy, so Dockside is going to get a lot of value.
Yeah, that's a
24
good point,
lands.
yeah. Technically 23 because we're bottoming Plateau. We're not going to draw a Plateau.
But if we shuffle, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Either way, I'm risking it. I want the tutor.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I think the tutor's the way to go too. Cool. So that was 3 pods that we did.
Cool.
Some test stands for.
Demon, that was great. Is there anything else that you want to say about this deck before we go?
When putting this deck together, the question that I wanted to answer is, how do I make Tana viable? And the answer that I ended up arriving at was, let's go faster.
I love it.
Yeah, when you can't have a Rog Rack in your command zone, let's make our own grindier Rog Rack, and it's working out great.
Cool. Is there anything else that you want to say before we do our outro stuff?
Once again, shout out the PDX CDH Discord. I've learned a lot from them. They've supported me a lot and helped me grow as a CDH player myself. And then I also want to say thank you guys for doing what you do and making CDH fun for viewing and just being genuinely cool dudes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that, Demon. That means a lot. And we really appreciate your support, too. This has been a blast.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us directly or be on your very own episode like Demon of Razgriz did here, you can do that at Patreon at our $100 tier, like our $100 patrons.
Mark Cirillo, Alan Button lowercase, she doesn't even go here, SoCal Acura, Stormageddon, Luke Cook, AJ Wasabi, sorry buddy, Demon of Razgriz, Uncle Butts, Kawaja A. Hamid, Lauren Kano, and Baby G-Bus.
If you'd like to pick up any of our merch, you can do that at playtowinmtg.com.
Humongous shout out to Dragon Shield. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Make sure you use our affiliate link down below and code PlayToWin5 to get 5% off your order there too.
You can follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram for more content.
Thanks for watching and or listening.
See you next time.
Or listening. the $50 patrons: Brian Barrington, Zachary Colson, Alex Musselman, Tyler H, X Tyler the Tree X, Mallcraft, Driving Crooner, Jabaha, Dalton Poteet, Kadanis, Hobo Ghost, Mitchell Shepard, Justin, Man Solo, Pedro, Jacob Depp, Michael Ballou, Jan Wildfang, Thomas Bueno, and David Nelson.
Ready to go?
Hello, hello. Whoa, I peeked. Hello,
Okay.
hello.
Don't talk like this. Talk like this.
Talk like this.
This is how you'll talk?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that our microphones aren't facing the same direction.
And then I'll be talking like this around here. Okay. Everybody
Cool.
ready?
Are you all set?
God, I'm so nervous on this.
You're good. Don't worry about it.
It's the very end. I'm super nervous. That's going in the outtakes.
Today on Commander Clash, we're building multicolored commanders, but really they're monocolored. What's everyone bringing?
Hey, it's Phil, and I'm gonna be playing Mono Green Corvold. Now, we do lose out on the Rakdos colors, but it's still Corvold, and it's probably gonna be busted.
Hi, I'm Richard and I'm playing Mono Red Aragorn. Aragorn lets me dull an opponent for 3 damage whenever I cast a red spell, so I'm trying to play a fair, non-stormish burn deck.
Misery's back on the menu with this brand new season, and of course we're starting off with Aloro, Ageless Ascetic, so we're playing Esper, but really we're a life gain deck because Seth always talks about Soul Sisters, and I never really ever play life gain decks. So let's take a first spin.
I'm Seth, and I'm playing one of my all-time favorite commanders in Yarak the Desecrated, but rather than being a value-heavy ETB deck, it's actually a mono-black burn deck. This show is brought to you by our sponsors. You can purchase all the accessories we use on the show over at ultimateguard.com, and you can purchase all your cards over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. You can also support us by buying merch at our merch store at mtggoldfishmerch.com and liking and subscribing to help the channel grow. Alright, with the intros out of the way, let's hop into the game. Alright, so we've got our opening sevens, we've rolled our dice, Richard's gonna go first, so it's time for the game, but first, we need to 3, 2, 1,
Yeah, Tomer, let's go.
Yay.
Let's get it. How about the die roll? Draw. Snow-covered mountain. I'm done. Your turn.
Okay. Drop a turn.
This is a very hype snow-covered mountain.
Oh, that's gorgeous. I'm going to play a forest and pass.
Are you playing snow-covered mountains because of the fog meta, Richard? Is this a fog meta thing? I know.
100%.
It definitely is.
There,
You think I'm running
Richard
Scran, Seth? You think I'm running
100%
Glacial Crevasse?
I think you
What
got
do
Glacial
think?
Crevasse in there. I'm voting Glacial Crevasse.
I'm playing Scran Red.
Probably both, right?
I'm gonna go ahead and play my Arcane Sanctum, and I'm gonna.
Alright.
Oh, and I gained 2 life, by the way. To totally
That's
forget my
bad.
commander has Eminence, pretty much.
I'm gonna play and crack a Polluted Delta and get a Watery Grave tapped, and you can go. And I go to 39.
Snow-covered mountain.
right.
Treasure map. So I can pay 1, tap it, scry 1, put a landmark on it, make a treasure, and then after I do it 3 times, it transforms into a land. Go ahead.
I'm going to draw. I'm also going to play a snow-covered forest, and then I'm going to pay 2 mana, play Explore. You may play an additional land this turn, draw a card. I'm going to play an additional land, and that's gonna be...
I'm so happy I'm sitting before Phil.
1, 2...
For the exact reason.
I'm so sad.
Well, this is gonna be
Are you
great.
playing catch-up ramp? What's
I'm
going
going to
on?
play a
I'm
Rakdos
playing
Canarium
Mustard Ramp.
and pick up the snow-covered.
I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't recognize any of these arts. Is that Lord of the Rings
That's
Explorer?
oh yeah. So Lord of the Rings. First of all, pass. But Lord of the Rings, the holiday set, had such cool versions
gonna gain
of
2.
Explorer and
No
Tempest.
big deal.
With Discovery, there's cool versions.
Crim's winning already. Kill him.
I'm gonna play Restless Fortress. I'm gonna pass.
Alright, I will untap and draw. You got a bounce land over there, Phil? Is that a bounce land?
Yes, that's a Rakdos Canarium.
Oh, we strip mining? We strip mining?
No,
No, you don't.
Vesuva into discard to hand size?
1, 2, 3, 4, I would have to discard the hand size, wouldn't I? Yeah, Richard knows his Vasubas, I'll give him that. He can suss out the Vasuba
So when you
coming.
play bounce lands, you need to actually play out a curve, and Spirited Companion doesn't count because it refills your hand. So you don't want to
Coming
bounce
from
land. just
Richard
so.
himself, that Spirited Companion doesn't count. Okay.
It doesn't count. That's the downside of Spirited Companion. Too much value. You gotta discard.
Yeah.
That's why you turn him on Reliquary Tower.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm just gonna play. I'm just gonna play a Nick those, and I will pass the turn.
Weird.
Nick those.
Just a Nick those.
In
Nick
your
those.
three
It's like
color
bad
deck.
Cabal Coffers.
Whoa.
I'm a mono black deck.